like a bad alternator. And at this point, I am worried I won't see you. These miles become dash lines and exit signs. Point B, city we shared. Point A becomes exponentially closer as I drive by dash lines on asphalt of a highway. We both become dots on this line graph, this map of names and cities that always want to visit each other. There's dots that paint my windshield. Rain kisses the heat of my hood and it's 95 degrees. And at this point, I just want to kiss you. Knowing that hitting a single bump on the road, the engine can fall out the gut of my horse, but fuck a bump on the road. My heart dropped the first day I saw you and I've been running ever since. Running and running and running and I won't stop running until I do. And then point A becomes point B and that line that connects us just becomes a reminder. Just another story that we're both sharing everything I wanted to. I finished writing you this poem in the parking lot I will pick you up in. I will look at you and you will smile at me. And I will do all of this again just for that. Thank y'all. Wow. Oh my goodness. Welcome to the Untitled Open Mic here at Dragonfly Cafe. Make some noise one more time. Amazing, amazing, amazing. You could be anywhere on a Wednesday, but you are here chilling at the cutest venue this side of the river. I'm one of your co-hosts and co-organizers, Ricky, he, him. We do this every first and third Wednesday of the month, this being the third Wednesday. Wow. And it's June. It is June. Yo, shout out to Pride Month. We're out here. Yes. Boom, boom. We got Juneteenth tomorrow. Shout out to that. There's a lot of things to celebrate, but most importantly, y'all are here rocking with us. We've been doing this open mic for 18 years, 1-8. Yep. Yeah, if you've been here since day one, we've all have gotten matching Untitled open mic tattoos. All right, in celebration for the open mics being able to get a tattoo legally. All right, cool. If you want one, let us know. We'll give you the flash for that. But yeah. This is a place where we gather together because we want to have a space to tell stories, to share poems, share music, uplift the stories that we care about that are important to us. And y'all make this happen. You and the audience, you and the community, y'all show up. And that's what the open mic is for y'all to have a platform to share with us. So if this is your first time on this at the Untitled open mic, can I get a yeah? Yeah. Oh, okay. We got some new folks, right? If you've been here for, at least a couple of times, maybe you might be some OG. Can I get a yeah? Yeah. All right, it's a mixed crowd. Be friends. Hopefully y'all can be friends. But yeah, so I want to do some quick housekeeping. I do want to make a big shout out to our lovely venue, Dragonfly Cafe. Let's show some love for the homies here. Give it up for Dragonfly Cafe. Throughout the evening, if you can, definitely support the venue. Buy some food, buy some drink. Tip the staff well. If you're like, Ricky, I want to support the venue, but I'm not thirsty. I'm not hungry. I already did that before I came here. It's fine. You don't have to drink anything. You don't have to eat anything, but we will happily take some food and some beverages. Or if you want some inspiration, we do like the Dragonfly Lemonade. Is one of our favorites. We do like the avocado toast and the espresso martini. So if you feel generous and you want to support both the venue and the staff here, you know what to do. All right, cool. Before this open mic, we like to do special programming. So of course we have an open mic where folks can share, but following that, we have a main event. So on the first Wednesday of every Untitled open mic, we have a poetry slam. If you've been to a poetry slam, can I get woo woo? All right. A poetry slam is competitive poetry. It's kind of wild. All right. It's like the Olympic event of talking about your feelings. But it's a good time because we get people together. We have prizes. We have judges. It's like a whole event. So please join us. That's what you can expect on the first Wednesday. But on the third Wednesday, as we invite a friend, a special guest, someone to take us through a poetic set, a feature. And we got the homie Storey in the back. Hey, what's going on? That's our feature. Our feature's in the house. Got Storey Campbell in the house. They are going to be here following this open mic. We're really excited because there is a book that's just been published. Really excited. You can get Storey's book tonight. All right. I don't think you can take Storey home. All right. I can't speak for Storey, but you can most definitely take the artwork, the poems that you're hearing tonight. I've been told that it's just pay what you can. All right, which is very, very generous as well. So if you can, definitely here support Story. Grab a book; it'll be a great time. But I'm going to do some more housekeeping for the open mic specifically. If you sign up on an open mic, you have about 3 to 5 minutes. So that's like a poem. If you want to do a couple of poems, there's a couple of short poems. We welcome, all different styles. Welcome to jump on a microphone. You don't have to be polished. You don't have to be a professional performing artist. Now, this is for everybody. Everyone needs to be able to share and tell their stories. But we don't go in any particular order, but we'll let the guests know who's on deck and who's up next. So just be prepared for that. This is also a place where we have a range of poetry, a range of stories. So you might hear some lighthearted stuff, some funny stuff, to personal stuff, heavier stuff. The range is there. So in this venue, in this home, we want to be an encouraging, supportive environment, creative environment. But that also means that if there's a lot of problematic shit out there. Problematic shit. We don't welcome that here in our venue. Any sort of forms of hate towards people in our community, racism, sexism, homophobia, like the list goes on. Like, we want y'all to be a part of keeping this home the way that we want to live in it. So with that being said, if y'all rock with that, can I get a yeah? Yeah. Beautiful. That does not mean you have to be nice.
Don't be nice.
Be necessary. Exactly. You can come up here, speak your truth, start some dialogue, be authentic. We like to say, fuck shit up, but
no fucked up shit.
All right. I think the audience will let you know if you fuck some shit up. All right. In a not the good way. All right. But with that being said, you kind of get an idea. We like some call and responses. All right. So maybe you're on this open mic and you're sharing something brand new for the first time. We have something called new shit.
New shit.
Amazing. Maybe you have something that you're just pulling up from the archive. You have something called old shit.
Old shit.
And then you have all this shit in between,
In between shit.
Yes, I did use the bathroom for the first time here. It was nice. And let us know if it's your first time on this open mic. And shout out to Nikolai, who is not here right now because they're feeling a little ill. Let us know if it's your second time on this open mic. We'd like to celebrate you. Okay. But also, with that being said, if you are sharing anything with strong content, we encourage you to let the guests know, hey, I'm going to be actually sharing a story about this. Guests, do what you need to do to take care of yourself. Move in and out of the space. I poo earlier. So if you're looking for the bathroom, they're outside of the venue. Okay. All right. Downstairs and then on this floor. I don't know. We have all the people who are more knowledgeable. All right. Great. Cool. This event is also being recorded and photographed because y'all look cute. We want to remember we're here for the archives. If you don't want to be photographed, let us know and we'll respect that. But be selfish with your cuteness. That's fine. I want to look over to the other organizers, co-hosts. Are we forgetting anything? Nah. All right. Dang. With that being said, Sarah, you are on deck. You're on deck. So you're getting ready. Get ready, but not at this moment. But to keep it fun, we're going to have this first homie coming to the stage. There's a reason why the golden hour is hitting right now. Please clap it up and welcome the homie as y'all.
Is one mic working better than the other, or are they the same? I think it's the same. I don't care. I'm gonna read a poem.
Oh shit!
This is new shit.
New shit.
Yeah, this is ugly poem number 26. So, yeah, we're getting up there. Okay. I think of myself, therefore I am a concept. I'll become a pile of bones with delusions of grandeur, delusions of walking upright and going about my day, paving undesirable paths with excuses for hours I've wasted, hours I've boxed up and sent through the shredder to be used as bedding for the overworked hamster running circles around my frontal lobe, chewing wires with reckless abandon. I choose to defer responsibility. I choose to live in an empty room rather uh, I choose to live in an empty room rather than organize a future mess. I make myself a spectacle because there are only so many ways to be different. Upon closer inspection, I'm just a collector of how other people see me. I fearfully hoard their perceptions of me, hiding them under my bed and in the pockets of my coats and inside my pillowcases and in my dresser drawers until I can't hide them anymore and everyone can see how much I care. I want to look in the mirror, but my image disappears around the corner. I run to chase it, desperate to catch a glimpse of the face I wear. But my legs melt from under me as the magic runs its course. Soft as gossamer, unbelievable as any common excuse. What do I look like to a passive observer? Just a child standing in an empty room, throwing a temper tantrum. Just a teenager tearing a book apart from the spine, screaming for help at a pitch intolerable to the human ear. I've meandered through lofty poetics, folding my feelings into pretentious paper birds, too dainty to touch without risking their delicate wings. I've buried myself in careful analyses of my emotions, thousands of pages of speculation in attempts to preempt damage. Instead, I've inflicted new damage in the distance from myself, uncomfortable in the solitude it provides. I am a concept in an empty room with all my paper birds.
Make some noise for that, everybody. Thank you so much. You might be thinking, Ricky, why are you white and like 200 pounds heavier? Because oh, thank you, thank you. Oh God. I am the new consciousness that was Ricky, but is now Mike. So thank you. Thank you. Clap for not seeing race or weight. Hell yeah. Speaking of clapping and whatnot, my previous consciousness that was Ricky did forget that we do have several reactions that we can give towards people to kind of help set the vibe, help people get some reassurance on what they're doing. So if you hear a line that you really like, sometimes you like to make it sound like you just had a fresh baked cookie from here in Dragonfly Cafe. So you go, it's mms. Sometimes you can snap. You can, if you don't know how to snap, you can pretend to snap. It still looks cool. And then, as always, when people leave, just give them a nice round of applause, like you give me now. Give me now. Thank you. Thank you. There's too much power in this. All right. On deck, we got Julia. Julia, you are on deck. But up next, we have another homie, Sarah Beth. Give it up for Sarah Beth. Now let's clap till the homie gets to the stage.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Beth. And I just want to let's give our artist tonight a round of applause, the one that feature. Sorry, it's here. Okay. And also, just so you know, the exits are right there. And if you look in the back, they're right over there because I believe that art can be a trigger warning. And if you get triggered, please keep yourself safe, leave the room, find someone to talk to. And I hope that what you hear tonight is more than a trigger warning, but it is entertainment and also truth. So the first poem that I'm going to share, this is new shit. New shit. It's called Mystic Bitch. What if Jesus smoked a cigarette and all of heaven didn't care? What if he did some magic mushrooms, smoked some weed? What if the body of Christ let loose sometimes in a mystic bitch like me? Or you, or they, or them, or we? What if we are never truly as abandoned as they want us to believe? Just temporarily blinded by some exploited basic human need? What if there is no fee for salvation? What if that's just free? And we refuse to believe it because they can't sell it to us on them screens. And isn't that where we all go to get some relief? Well, what if Jesus likes scary movies, Insta and YouTube? What if he doesn't need your money? And capital G-O-D is not a hack. Because you know love? Well, darling, they can't patent that. What if Jesus is a mystic bitch, a hippie chick, a homeless man, gay, queer, trans, caramel, brown? What if Christ lets loose his hair? And what if Jesus smoked a cigarette and all of heaven didn't care? I didn't see anybody leave, so I just want to say thank you for that. I'm always going to give you a warning. I will always give you a warning. I'm going to read one more, and then I'll sit down and let my fellow artists have the night. I'm really excited to be here. My name is Sarah Beth. This is called Old Bone Woman. Old bone woman, pick up my bones, lay them on the dirt beneath your feet, lay them out and laugh at my defeat. See these empty sockets that have been pushed so deep with death, a life of supplication and broken nightmare flesh. Force out your wicked cackling, your bitter power rages. Pull up my flesh upon my weeping marrow. You've trapped me in these pages. Though I have done you no wrong, I beg you for tomorrow. My bones are brittle, my mind is gone. Reach down and spit on me. Wail into me your soiled breath and bitter irony. For I am here, bone woman, with this pathetic frame, begging you from on the ground for my path to change. I am here, bone woman. I have heard the legend that they came to tell about an old bone woman who laughs at death and the ways of hell. So I clawed my way out of my grave through sod and bugs and shame to throw myself upon your feet and scream out my real name. Because you know mine, bone woman, and I know yours. What has come before and what is now, the bodies you have bled. So I call you out, bone mother. Mother, raise me from the dead.
Thank you so much. Sarah, was this your first time on our open mic? Oh my God, that's great. So since this was Sarah's first time, we're going to ask Sarah to please come back in the future. Can we do that, audience?
Yes.
Can we do that a little more enthusiastically, audience? Thank you. All right, ready on the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
Please come back.
Thank you so much, everybody. All right, cool. Before we do move on, just because we didn't mention it ahead of time, this is how I sound when I'm this close to the mic. This is how I sound from back here. This is how I sound from back here. Just keep that in mind when performing. Okay, so cool. On deck, we got Rebecca. But up next, let's give a hand for Julia, everybody. Give a hand until Julia gets to the stage. Keep clapping until the performer gets to the stage.
I just wanna be a medicine. I just wanna be a medicine. Yeah. Oh yes, I love her like it's fiction. Gon' tell it's fable till we stable, make a sentence. I'm at your top, don't need a mention. Yeah. I'm scheming on you like a pyramid. When I come through, I'ma need that right now. I'm saying, oh yeah, when you got it, your DMs, I make it right. I need somebody to hold me down. The way she feel like she know me down. I tell her homie to throw me down. I be on pool when I'm chilling out. I am not a hoe, but you could get slayed. I am not a hoe, but you could get slayed.
Now staying down.
I just wanna be a medicine. I just wanna be a medicine. Anyways.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Julia, she, her pronouns, and I'm really excited to be here tonight. Yeah. I'm going to be singing. What am I singing? Oh, I'm going to be singing Cleopatra by the Lumineers. I was Cleopatra. I was young and an actress when you knelt by my mattress and asked for my hand. I was sad. You asked it as I laid in a black dress with my father in a casket. I had no plans. And I left the footprints, the mud stain on the carpet, and it hardened like my heart did when you left town. But I must admit it, I would marry you in an instant. Damn your wife, I'd be your mistress just to have you around. I was late for this, late for that, late for the love of my life. When I die alone, when I die alone, when I die, it'll be on time. While the church discouraged any lust that burned within me. Yes, my flesh, it was my currency, but I held true. And so I drive a taxi, and the traffic distracts me, and the strangers in my backseat, they remind me of you. I was late for this, late for that, late for the love of my life. When I die alone, when I die alone, when I die, it'll be on time. The only gifts from our Lord are a birth and a divorce. So I read the script and the costume fits, so I'll play my part. Oh, I was Cleopatra, I was taller than the rafters, but it's all in the past now, gone with the wind. And a nurse in white shoes leads me back to my guest room. It's a bedroom and a bathroom, a place for the end. I was late for this, late for that, late for the love of my life. When I die alone, when I die alone, when I die, it'll be on time. Thank you.
Make some noise for Julia, everybody. Julia, was this your first time on our open mic? Oh, good God! You guys know what that means. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
Please come back.
Hell yeah, everybody! Hell yeah! All right, cool. I'm getting comfy now, so. On deck, we got Jason. But this next poet is the poet that is next. So give a hand for Rebecca, everybody. Clap until Rebecca gets to the stage, and I will try to fix the mic.
Not that tall. And I'm sorry that I'm going to be the third newbie in a row. I heard that name and I was like, what a cool name. I want to meet that person. So I'm sad.
To come back.
Clearly. I have a smattering of short poems.
Scattering.
A tapas tray, a tasting sample. Huh?
The callback thing will be less in our sense. Okay.
Oh, gotcha. I'm sorry. It's all good. First one's called Apple Cider. I am a woman the way apple cider is a juice. Fitting in, sitting pretty together on the shelf, getting along. I only notice the difference when the sting hits my tongue. I am an oval trying to fit inside a circle, fitting here or there, sometimes, but never fully, never completely, never always, because that isn't what I'm supposed to be, or at least not all of the time. I am not quite a woman, the way apple cider isn't quite juice. Thank you. This next one's called Butterfly Kisses. And for context, I work in a customer service kind of role, and so I meet a lot of strangers, most of which are my neighbors, which is fun. I really like this kind of work because I like talking to people, if that weren't obvious. Today, I met a woman with glittery silver nails. They sparkled like the kisses the summer sun trails and lines across a wine-dark sea. I thought how I loved her, adored her for this bold choice, her brilliance, the way her eyes and her laugh caught the light too. I told her, I love your nails, they're beautiful. And she answered, embarrassed regret dripping from her perfect tongue. Aw, thanks, but I should probably take it off soon. It's chipping off. My adoration somehow sparked this sadness in her. She needed to pull the wings off the butterfly I'd handed her. Why? Why, my sister, do you do this? I know it is because the world has punished you for your beauty. The world has punished you for shining. The world has scolded the light out of you. I know it is because you believe you don't deserve to see butterflies in the mirror. But darling, I'm gonna keep blowing butterflies in your direction. I'm gonna keep complimenting your sun glow. Someday, I hope you believe me. Thank you. Last one, I promise. It's called Just Another Apocalypse. If there's one thing this world has taught me, it's that people just go on living, no matter what apocalypses happen. I think it's a coping mechanism or something to say it's just another apocalypse, just another day that ends in Y. The sky is falling, but would you like a cup of tea? The oceans are acidifying. What do you want from the grocery store? Air quality, too dangerous to go for a walk. Want to play co-op instead? From a global pandemic to a loved one dying, I've seen it again and again. Bad things happen. Apocalypses, big and small, and people just go about their lives. Living, loving, laughing, finding joy and connection and happiness somehow. Loving and caring for each other as best we can until a new day dawns and everything looks just a little bit brighter. This world will not end in fire, or at least not only in fire. It will end in love. Thank you.
No one said life was easy. It ain't no crystal stair.
All right, well, I mean, Rebecca said it, so you all know what's coming next. So on the count of three, one more time for me. Can we get a please come back for them? Yes. Can we get one with enthusiasm? Thank you. 1, 2, 3.
Please come back.
Thank you. Jeez. All right, cool. So you're cruising right through. It's very, very cute looking Mike. On deck, we got the Playmates. The Playmates are on deck. Ooh. But up next, let's give a hand for Jason, everybody. Until Jason gets to the stage.
Hi.
So this is old shit.
Oh shit!
And the little warning, some mentions of suicide. After losing my mother's ashes. By some series of bedtime experiments, we know how faces are supposed to reappear. In doorways, behind windshields, over our beds. The sun comes up, or the workday ends, and their faces soothe us back from sucking on fabric, scratching bad math, waiting for the garage door to lurch on its track. How'd the dead leave us looking? Wandering through rooms, opening all the drawers, dragging around boxes bearded with silk, our absent steps crunching the erstwhile mire, now dry, corpse crumbed to dust by years of souls, all for the exaggerated skin of a woman's nose. But these are the grapes we don't get back when they roll out of sight down that same abyss where rubber Gumby waits entombed in turn with all the lost things kept by basements, where a motley tribe of pawns broods over a hoard of monopoly money, where paper pink valentines kicked about are let to settle, stippled with mold in the same heap as all our unread mail and missed calls, invitations to be better, to talk someone off a ledge, pleas to help the birds or the Democrats breed, the daily call to make room for tomorrow over Netflix and weed. Just before my mom died, she called me, and we had a nice conversation that I would later come to understand was her goodbye, because she was planning to kill herself. During that talk, she told me she had found some of my poetry in the basement. She hadn't really read any of it before, maybe the kids' stuff, the construction paper, homework stuff, but not the real stuff, the stuff where I was struggling with the world and with myself. And what she said to me was, "You have something to say? You have something to say," she said. And I wish she hadn't. I wish she had taken us out of the good schools, moved us to a town she could afford to live in and watch TV with us, and took us out to nowhere in particular and showed us how to love ourselves enough to let go of the drive to please, how to cut up a watermelon, how to climb to the quietest peaks and tell jokes, how to tell stories and listen to stories, how to laugh while spreading butter on bread, how to hug without awkwardness and surrender in another's arms. So time for 1 minute. This one's a little different, palate cleanser. If I could fill your cup, I would. I would mash that button and fill your cup until it overflowed, and a wadded napkin turns to piled rags, to towels wrung into buckets, till they're furiously push-brooming it out the door in a stream we could kayak out on, of course singing. If I could fill your cup, it would be the only job left to me. I would keep my head down and do it to completion. I would apply myself to filling your cup. I would fall down filling your cup and then get up and keep filling it, improved. I would get you bigger cups and fill those too, and I would ponder how your cup could be a hot tub, a swimming pool, Lake Erie, or the sea, and I would fill those and then some. They'll have to send FEMA down to survey what was left after I filled your cup. And years from now, the intelligent cephalopods will go to great lengths to understand, palpating along the extent of the jagged ruins stabbing out of the ocean, pondering the symbols etched under their cities of coral, filling the gaps in their knowledge with stories told in the shapes of their bodies, reaching for the answers about the calamity that quieted our age and planted the seed for theirs when I filled your cup.
Thank you so much, Jason. That was all great stuff. Jason, is this your first time here too? No? Is this your second time here? Oh, Oh, ooh, that's different. So for this one, we're gonna say that Jason came back. So we're gonna all yell, "He came back." Can we do that?
Yeah!
Don't yell at me. Stop it. I don't like it. All right, on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Thank you for sharing with us, Jason. Also, thank you for the word cephalopod in a poem. Hell yeah. That's a $15 word. It is. All right, so we are almost done with our open mic. Almost. We got some cute little mid-rolls and some cute little working people. But we still got a few left. So on deck is BJ. But up next, let's give a round of applause for the Playmates, everybody. Let's keep doing that until they get to the stage. We're going to keep doing it. And we're going to do it again. I'm going to get a chair.
Tá faltando hoje o bloco sai mais triste sem ele. Tá
Two chairs is getting greedy. I'm just saying.
Tá faltando o zum, 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 zum. Tá faltando o zum, 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 zum. Tá faltando ele que era o porta-estandarte e que fazia luz e hoje o bloco sai triste sem ele. Tá faltando
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
Julie's back, and I'm here.
They came back.
I'm here too now, then.
Who are you?
I'm Corey. That's Julia. Together, we're the Playmates. And we're doing a cover. Gracie Abrams. Yeah, I knew it. I know you. And if you know it, sing along.
Yeah. I swear to God, I haven't thought of you in ages. I lived a lot, I've loved and lost, I've let the rain in. I'm pretty sure, I've heard you never faced it. I understand, I changed your plans, I had to, baby. And all I did was right by me. I heard that almost killed you, but I knew it, I know you, I called it. And I think that you earnestly have waited on apologies, but I can't pretend that I'm sorry when I'm not sorry. So aren't you sad about the fact that you can't write me? I cheered the loudest for you when you won your trophies. I'm on the ground, how's the weather on your planet? An empty house, the noise is loud, it's how you stand it. But don't you feel alone at night or sorta kinda daily? I knew it, I know you, I called it. And it makes me wanna cry sometimes, but don't you know the deal now? I just can't pretend that I'm sorry when I'm not sorry. We don't even know each other now. And I blow all my
talk. We could get it. We could both calm
down, 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 down.
It all changed for me, and I told you.
Down, down.
Yeah, the wrong idea about me.
Down, down.
All I ever did was consider you.
Down, down.
So all I could do was consider me.
Down, down.
Was your entertainment from a dark place?
Down, down.
Don't know how to step outside yourself.
Down, down.
It's not you can sit with a heart thing.
Down, down.
You really thought you would get what you wanted.
Down, down. You really thought you would get what you wanted. Down, down, down. Down, 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 down.
Thank you.
Make some noise for the Playmates, everybody. A collective unit. A very musical open mic this time. Yeah. So. Very musical open mic this time. There you go. All right, guys. Well, we're hitting the mid-credits scene of this movie that is the open mic. So on deck we have Jared, but up next we got the man BJ. So let's give a round of applause for BJ.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm BJ. I'm reading a short story I wrote amidst COVID. So trigger if any traumatic event or anything like that gets brought up because of COVID or thoughts about it, I apologize in advance. Also, I've been taking a lot of pictures of everybody who's been performing right by the camera. If y'all don't want your pictures on my phone or post it on Instagram, just tell me. But all y'all look so pretty and great, so I was just taking a bunch of pictures. So, yeah. So this story is called Her Melody. Pit pat, droplets trickle down my face as I wander the streets. My clothes feel heavy like weighted blankets draped over me. With each step, they get heavier and heavier. So much in my mind, so much has happened, and I don't even understand how to feel. Pit pat, pit pat. I want to run and never stop. I want to disappear. I continue to walk, and suddenly the droplets fall harder, massaging my face. The smell of wet fibers and salt lingers in my mask, rendering my mask almost suffocating. I wish this all went away. Pit pat, pit pat. I wish my life could go back to normal. Pit pat, pit pat. My friends coming to my dorm for coffee in the morning or sitting next to my friend in class closer than 6 feet apart. Finally walking down the hill, the sight of the shoreline emerges. As I approach, I hear the empty beach beckoning me. The water crashing onto the sands soothes my storming mind as well as any day on the beach. In fact, it settles me more, as it almost feels like I'm not crying alone. The sand looks like a solid mass on the ground, melted and fuses together by the water. The clouds turn the beach from a blue paradise to a monotone gray pondering place. How? How can anyone recover from this? Pit-pat, pit-pat. So many people have died. Pit-pat, pit-pat. So many rights are being taken away that I can't function. Pit-pat, pit-pat. It feels like every second of every day I follow my husk of skin and bone to where it needs to go as I float alongside it. Pit-pat, pit-pat. Every day I worry from the second I walk outside. Do I have it? If I leave my house, will I get it? What if my mom gets it? She gets it, she has to go to the hospital alone. Then I would be alone. Pit-pat, pit-pat. How can I continue? I know tears fall from my face, but it's indistinguishable from the raindrops pounding on my cheeks. Pit-pat, pit-pat. The worst is I feel horrible for feeling bad for myself because everyone else in the world is feeling this, and I can't do anything about it to help. Pit-pat, pit-pat. My friends live states away, and I can't even trust the person in line behind me at a grocery store. Pit-pat, pit-pat. When was the last time I put on hand sanitizer? Before I left. If I put on more now, the rain will surely wash it away. Pit-pat, pit-pat. I remove my mask on my face, for the water filling the mask and pounding on my chest becomes all too much. I breathe in and out, heaving, gasping for air, not contaminated by the moisture of the rain. Like a soft whisper, the breeze whistles in my ear. I look to the sky as the drops feel like someone's throwing stones to the earth. I feel a tingle on my face as I look back at the ocean. I rub the stone wall before me, feeling the bumps and crevices on every inch of my hands as it glides across. I then sit. I can do this, I state. This feeling won't last forever. I stare at the clouds above the water and witness them dancing across the sky, spreading their tears in the most elegant way. I'm so scared that nothing's going to change. Pit-pat, pit-pat. That it's always going to stay like this, and there's nothing I can do to change it back. Pit-pat, pit-pat. The taste of salt enters my mouth as I open it in awe. The sight is so beautiful. I watch the clouds stride across the sky until my glasses get wet and my vision is compromised. I remove them only to realize I have no way of cleaning them. Everything I am is soaked. I fold my glasses and hang them from my collar of my shirt. I close my eyes and listen to the melodies of the storm. I guess life is like a storm, raging, causing mountains of water erupting from the seas to swallow all in its path. The rain pouring like daggers falling from the sky. Pit-pat, pit-pat. But if I close my eyes, it's still there, but it feels different. The beating of the rain, the rhythm of the waves, the notes of the wind. I listen till I am no longer surrounded by a storming beach, but a room filled with a beautiful sonata of an orchestra. Even with the grimness of the day, her music is filled with passion and hope. Pit-pat, pit-pat. Her song rings with messages of continuation and thankfulness. Pit-pat, pit-pat. No note is created by mistake, no drop out of time, and not one of her instruments overpowers the other. Pit-pat, pit-pat. How could it be that a storm could be so beautiful without even seeing it? Pit-pat, pit-pat. Maybe it is beautiful. Pit-pat, pit-pat. I open my eyes and I stare once again at the storming beach in front of me. No longer does it feel like a raging punishment that was created to torture all at sea. Pit-pat, pit-pat. But if beautiful nurturing event that is created to help change come along, fresh salt water, fresh beginnings come from storm. Pit-pat, pit-pat. Maybe my situation will change. Pit-pat, pit-pat. All I can do now is stay as safe as I can. I place my mask upon my face once again, slightly suffocating as I breathe in a mixture of water and air. Until the day I can do something to help. Pit-pat, pit-pat. Or until the sword subsides. Pit-pat, pit-pat. But until then, I shall understand what is around me, but only absorb the beauty and joy from my situation. Pit-pat, pit-pat. Because when this is over, my sunny days will come again. Pit-pat, pit-pat. I get up from against the wall and turn towards the townscape just opposite the beach. I remove and unfold my glasses and place them back upon my face. If I can find the beauty in my situation, I can keep going with my head held high. I allow my muscle memory to guide me back to the place I once came. Thank you.
Fuck that mic. BJ, you came here a long time. I don't remember the last time you were here. Is this your second time here? It's BJ's second time here, everybody. And last time was like Mill 5, I think. So, all right, cool. So on the count of 3, we're gonna tell BJ that he came back. Can we do that? Yeah. Yes. Okay. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
They came back.
All right, guys. This is it. This is the final poet on our open. And then we got some cute little announcements and some cute little worker bees. And then we got an awesome feature for tonight. So, yeah. With that being said, not going to take up any more time. Jared, you're up.
Everybody loves the sunshine.
Hello. I've got some old shit.
Oh shit!
Previously published shit from Dead River Review from Middlesex Community College. Non-rehearsed shit. It's a story called When the Buildings Vanished. Gordon wished that he had been awake when the buildings disappeared. At least, he wished he had been doing something to document it. Taking a photo on his phone, a video, something. All those Instagram live videos that his younger sister was always doing didn't seem as stupid to him in this moment. But he hadn't managed to document anything. There hadn't been time. One minute he had been walking down the street that he had grown up on. Driving back from a family reunion, he was passing by his old neighborhood, and he decided to get out and walk around on a whim. And the next he was lying down on the sidewalk. He could not remember how long he was out for. It was a cloudless day, and the sun's position in the clear blue sky looked unchanged, so he assumed that not much time had passed. He remembered that he had heard a low buzzing sound while walking, at first assuming it was just cicada. The buzzing had grown in intensity over the course of a few seconds, however, and Gordon could remember looking all around him for its source, but could find none. And then he remembered feeling like the sound was coming from the space in between his ears, and how bad it had hurt, and how he couldn't see and needing to find shelter from the pain, and that the sound could but how could he? It was coming from everywhere. And they remembered nothing after that. He assumed that was when he had blacked out, then and there in the street. As he slowly stood up and began to gather himself, Gordon was relieved to find that the blinding pain from before was gone. He was less relieved to find that the buildings were gone too. Gordon was not a few yards away from where he parked his truck at the end of the street, so he knew that there, on his left, there should have been the corner store where he and his mother had gone to buy the basic necessities. One of his earliest memories was that walk across the street and around the corner, holding his mother's hand, though he could only remember looking directly at the road in front of him. But instead there was just nothing. Nothing to suggest that the corner store had ever been there, except for a six-sided outline where the building sat, light gray concrete contrasting the black asphalt surrounding it. No plumbing or wires of any kind sticking out either. It was like a giant hand had come, plucked the corner store up, and then smoothed out the ground beneath to hide any evidence that something had been taken, that anything had ever even been there. Is that 3 minutes? Oh, okay, cool. Just stop me. Gordon also knew that on his right, across the street, should have been the house that he had grown up in. For the first time, he turned his head and braved a look across the street. Where the asphalt driveway had once led to a one-story brick house and garage, it now led to a patch of brown, dried-up grass occupying the space where the house had once sat. It was like his childhood home was a tent that had been pulled away after a few hours at a country fair, its negative effect on the lawn the only indication that something had once been there. Gordon began to walk across the street towards his old yard, not bothering to look for cars before he did so. God, are there even still cars? He thought to himself as he looked straight ahead. Of course there are still cars, he responded to himself. Your truck is right there at the end of the roundabout. You were just looking at it. Oh yeah, Gordon said back to himself. And even if there weren't any other cars around, we don't know that for certain. We're dealing with the missing house right now. Right. One thing at a time, or you'll drive yourself mental. Gordon snorted. More mental than I am already? He gave himself no reply. The pressure beneath his feet changed from hard asphalt to firm dirt and grass, and he found himself standing in his childhood yard. Gordon looked straight ahead through the space where his childhood home had once stood to the backyard. He realized that he had more fond memories of playing in here than he did in the front yard. Makes sense, he thought to himself, as his parents were more responsible than letting a 4-year-old play in an area not 10 feet from the road. He noticed that whoever was living here now had started what looked like a nice vegetable garden in the backyard. He could see a big red tomato growing from the vines wrapped around a large, unweathered wooden stake. Gordon had never gotten to know the new homeowners. How could he? He was only 5 years old when his family moved, and they had moved nearly an hour and a half away. Outside of nostalgia and visiting local relatives, Gordon never really had much reason to come back. He hoped that they were well, regardless. He hoped that they hadn't been at home when it disappeared. He briefly wondered if he should hope that they were home when this happened. Would that have been a good thing? Who even knew? Who even knew what was going on? Gordon realized that he felt very stiff. He took a deep breath, shrugged his shoulders, and simultaneously exhaled and let his shoulders down. It helped. Something at least, he thought. Gordon then slowly walked over to the space housing the dying grass. He stopped suddenly with the tip of his shoe just resting outside of the outline. Gordon quickly threw his hands up and began feeling out the space where the walls of the building should have been, seeing if he could make contact with anything solid. Nothing. Good. Thank you.
Give it up for Jared, y'all. All right. My name is Connor, he, him. We're going to do some quick mid-roll announcements, and then we're going to get to the working section, and then we'll get to our wonderful feature. By the way, they have a book. Y'all should consider, getting said book. Maybe? Yeah? Yes? Thank you. Yeah. All right. So, what? Yes, we better all love reading here. It's okay, I'm a nerd too. We're all nerds. All right. So, the Lowell Poetry Wheel, that is us. And we are a very wobbly wheel because we only have 3 spokes, but there are 3 very important spokes. So, we have the Untitled Open Mic, which we are at right here, right now, happening every first and third Wednesday of the month. We have our second spoke is Mill City Speaks, which is our slam team. And they do workshops too. And they're online workshops every second Tuesday of the month. And we have Free Verse, which is our youth poetry program. So, yes, youth is everything. We have some really important of note upcoming events. That's right. The online workshop. Every second Tuesday of the month. That's so cool. Yeah. What? Do you have to pay anything with that? No, I was gonna say that actually right after. A free writing workshop. Yeah, everything we do is free. Well, we'll get into that. We'll get into that in 1 second. But first, we have some upcoming events that are we need to announce because they are very important. So, for next month, on July 2nd, we have the regional 4x4 Mill City Speaks versus 3 other regional slam teams at the open mic here. Yes. Yes, spicy. That's gonna be a big one. Make sure you all be there or you're square. Then we have the Mill City Speaks online workshop hosted by our very own Andrew on July 8th. Be there as well. And on July 16th, we have our next feature, Elias Evander from the Providence Slam team doing a workshop at 5 p.m. before the open mic. Be there as well. So, going to the money thing now. There is an amazing thing about all of our events. We do not charge a cover fee because we operate solely on grants and donations. That also means we are broke as hell. So, if you have any spare change and you've already tipped the amazing staff at Dragonfly Cafe, give them a round of applause. And if you've already tipped them, you have a little bit of cash to spare, we would really appreciate it. We have this tradition where the late, great Dougie would pass around his hat, and you would all, everyone would put any spare change they could put in it. Right now, we have Andrew's hat that we're going to use to continue that amazing tradition. If you do not have cash, that is okay. Ricky has a Venmo that you can Venmo to. Hit him up if you need that. Don't forget to also visit our amazing welcome station right up there at the end of the table by the door. We have a bunch of amazing things there. We have merch. We have the amazing community library. We have the email sign-up list, so you can stay updated and stuff in case you forget every single thing I said, which, who listens to mid-credits and movies anyways? Oh, okay. All right. Fair. Email sign-up list at lowpoetryreal@gmail.com. I appreciate that. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at lowpoetrywheel and also visit our website, lowpoetrywheel.com. I think that's everything. Am I missing anything? Looking at the... If you really insist, you may get a poem out of me because we're gonna go to our working section. What? Yes, because our worker bees, they need to get a little bit of spot in the spotlight as well. Spot in the spotlight. Yeah. Wow. Poetry. All right. I'm gonna give you guys a poem, and then we're gonna announce the rest of us. All right. Hey, y'all, I'm back. So, yeah, who knew? Yeah, he came back. So this is, I guess, in between shit. It's not too old, but it's new. So, in between shit, yeah. This is called Backyards. The grass and dirt in my backyard is littered with things, gifts and annoyances of nature, rocks, pebbles, bugs, dirt, tree branches, things that I think most of us who fought dragons and battled with imaginary lightsabers, played floors, lava, tag, etc., all remember too well. Scraped knees, dirt-covered clothes, the freeing mind of being a child. The world seemed so much brighter then. Now, the closer I try to hold these memories, I find the color of them beginning to fade. The world is losing its color, losing its bright light. Is this just growing up? Or is it just because the world, society, and the environment are burning around me, around us? Like the sweet taste of chocolate turning to ash in our mouths. Was the world actually better then? Or were we just being naive? Are my parents just in denial? Or are they still trying to shield me from the rain even though I have been drowning for years? I worry that no matter how much light and color we try to infuse back into our backyards, no matter how much of these pebbles, rocks, dirt, leaves, branches that we try to gather and save, everything will still fade to black and white, colorless. An old photograph with no more importance than to be stepped on by the boots of those who feast on our suffering. It's so easy to want to give up, to want to leave. Sometimes the loss of our backyards and the burning of photographs we hold dear is enough to want to leave permanently. How can one stay sane without a place to be safe? How can we gather our sticks and leaves when our backyards simply cease? Why do we, as a species, not only burn our own backyards, but burn others too? Just because some people's backyards are different. Burn into oblivion. It doesn't make sense to me, but all I know is that I'll be gathering my sticks, my leaves, my rocks and pebbles in a hope that you all will do the same. Provide help and shelter to those living. Don't burn them. And maybe just maybe, color in our world will stay, and the light will stay brighter. My backyard is your backyard, and yours is mine, so let's play in it together. Thank you. If you don't have cash, still pass the hat around because the hat also put vibes in the hat because vibes matter almost just as much. All right. Let's continue into this working section. This next poet that I'm going to welcome up is the absolute life of the party. Get up here, Mike.
As if you people haven't heard enough of it. What? I was gonna say, Connor, you ruined my. I took the form. Ricky took the form of me. You were supposed. You know what? Forget it. All right. Well, it's Pride. It's Pride. We're all gay, so I'm gonna do some gay shit. And it's also old shit. So. Okay. Old gay shit. Here we go. Elder queer shit. I will take that. All right. Learning to say goodbye is difficult. So let me do it for those who struggle to. Goodbye to the friends who shoved you back in the closet when you didn't have an immediate answer to, would you suck a dick? Goodbye to the family that looks at you through side eyes because he's big enough to play football, and why is he wasting his time with drama? Goodbye to the awkwardness of lusting over men and women with your fiance because you both find them attractive. Goodbye to the notion of a gender binary because fuck, sometimes I would rather feel like an ethereal space queen than a golden retriever gamer boy. Goodbye to the fear of being your most authentic self and enjoy Pride with a goodbye, like me.
Give it up for Mike, everyone. All right. Now, this next poet and co-organizer we're going to welcome up here has got the best humor that I have ever been around. Andrew, get up here.
And of course, you introduced me with humor, and I brought something that's not humorous at all.
Yes. Irony, not funny. I'm ready for this shit.
Let's tell it plainly. When they write the books, whether they write the truth about these times or not, they'll leave some pages on the floor. They'll print the big scenes, casting heroes, crooks, mad emperors, recounting wars and crimes, and they'll explain how nations fail or soar. They'll never publish how the tea broke down again the 7th fucking Monday in a row. Which fiddler played at which pub on Thursday night? Which date turned awful halfway through? What frown the waitress hid? Who crafted workplace flow? Who slept alone each day? Who missed what flight? All those daily streams of joy, stress, dreams, and regrets, those are the tomes that history forgets.
Like I said, humor is amazing. All right. This next poet I'm going to bring up and worker bee, has whenever I'm around them, they just radiate really, really good vibes. Get on up here, Angie.
Thank you. Y'all are doing such a good job hosting. I'm about to bring this shit down, make it real fucking depressing. So I woke up this morning and remember some really sad shit that happened to me when I was a teenager. And so I wrote about it. And I guess the trigger warning here is misfortune. Some light. Dear high school bus driver, also known as Missy to all of the kids. Do you remember the time you pulled me aside, asked me to stay after drop off? You saw me crying at the bus stop, crying on the bus ride, crying home and back the next day. I was 16, long flowing brown hair, bright and wholesome smile. You saw my boyfriend sitting on another seat, saw the two lovebirds were no more, and you, a mother, a fellow Latina, stepped in, said, Angie, I'm so sorry. Said, Mamita, sometimes boys do this. They become your novio, pretend to be sweet, use you for what's between your legs. You were so kind, convinced that I had been used, that this boy couldn't have properly cared for me. Doña, you were kinder than I deserved. You couldn't have known. There's no way you knew that I was crying from my insides tearing up, from my body clamping and revolting. You see, the condom slipped off. It got stuck inside of me, and when I panicked, his aunt said she'd get me the day after pill. I didn't know. I wouldn't know for years that I had had my first abortion, that I'd taken mifepristone and misoprostol, that I had put my body through something so controversial without my understanding. And it's true, I didn't want a child. I was one myself. I didn't want to be stuck in this fucking town with no options or choices, no people to match my level of curiosity or drive. I didn't want to be another waitress at a midnight diner. I didn't want to struggle to survive, give my kid a hard life. So I took the pills. I woke up at 2, writhed in pain, writhed and writhed, handled it all without my mommy. And how could I? How could I tell her what I did? She thought me innocent and pure, would call me a slut and shame me. How could I go to her or anyone? But you came to me and you told me what you wanted me to hear, that I mattered, that I was beautiful, a good girl who would go somewhere, who had a life waiting for her. Doña Lisa, you were a saint. Thank you.
Wow. That was amazing. That was amazing. All right. For the final member of our working section, last but certainly not least, we're going to welcome up probably, I'd say one of my top inspirations in the poetry community. Rickov, get on up here.
Inspirational shit, huh? Okay. All right. So I've got 2.5 poems for you guys tonight. It's posted to 2.5 Men. That was a garbage show, but I loved it anyways. Okay. So I'm doing this thing in Worcester in a month and a half called the Iron Poet Competition. The Dirty Jaren puts this on every so often, and the rules seem fairly straightforward. You're given a secret ingredient. You're supposed to write a haiku, an original poem on the spot, and sneak the secret ingredient into one of your other poems that you've read on the mic before. At least I think those are the rules. So, thank you, Storey. So I'm attempting to practice. So I asked my lovely friend Connor here for a secret ingredient, and he gave me corn. Corn. So this is my attempt to use corn in a bunch of poems. Stalks stretch, reaching out towards welcome warmth, sweetly ensconced, fibrous. A single seed splits, green stem cracking past arduous application of force, breaking through brittle skin and firm shell. One of the earliest sensory memories I have is that of my own voice, squeaking in time with colored metal keys, green and unaware of anything but the tinny response to the tactile sensation of my fingers against the plastic. So I kept reaching until scattered notes became half-formed melodies, garbled gabbling blending together into words, then sentences, a trickling stream that fed an ocean. But even the most fertile soil can be stifling. Infirm stem pressing vainly against hard-packed earthen expectation. I've always wanted to speak. Sweet song of exuberance for every experience, a kernel wanting, growing into a young stalk, little leaves soaking into a world, the sunshine, the rain, the earth. Before this, though, I had to reach past myself, past hardened cultural norms and expectations, and then to put down roots. I could not reach up and out until I had dug down, deep within myself, to open up to the warmth of a sweet corn sun. And since this is my home venue and I've read most of the poems in this book, this is my debut chapbook release, Mirrored in the Mundane. I am going to read this one again. It is titled Occasionally an Orange. Don't worry, there's corn in here somewhere. Sometimes an orange is just an orange. We peel back however many layers of rind, carefully dissect each and every slice, set aside the corn kernel pips in hope that sometimes maybe they could become something more than just dense potential. But until planted and cared for, unless nurtured and watered with warmth and tenderness, a seed is just a seed. Each slice can be pried away from its brethren, but alone it is only skin and juice. Fibrous flesh for a fleeting moment before the inevitable demise. There might even be a metaphor somewhere in there, but again, I remind myself that sometimes an orange is just an orange. But consider the rind. A bitter, tough shell mottled with ridges, exoscarp optimized to resist prying fingers and avoid being pawed, shielding the soft endocarb with a film-like albedo buffer of cellulose and pectin, fuzzy feeling still a tangible barrier to the sweetness within. But when you break past that layer of inhibition, the explosion of flavor dances like sweet corn against your tongue. The liminal ecstasy pirouettes through sugary sour steps as it slides down, slowly fading through until a shriveled husk is all that remains between your teeth. So what do you do with what is left? Do you spit it out? Reject the revulsion and leave it lying, cast aside and irrelevant now that you've sucked it dry and see nothing left to gain from the shrunken remains? Or do you let it linger, slowly chewing on the aftermath, eventually swallowing and letting it become part of you for a time, until even the memory fades? But remember, sometimes an orange is just an orange, a quick fix, if you make it past the pith. All right, and that is our open mic. All right. So up next, we have our lovely feature story. I get the honor of introducing them because I have gotten to see them in a few different venues now, and every single time I have been blown away with the perspective and the earnesty and the raw honesty that they bring up to a mic. I am so thankful and so honored to be able to have them at my home venue now and be able to share that experience with everybody here. So Storey Campbell, as is read by their bio, Storey Campbell's poetry has evolved raw and punk, exploring her transness, intersex identity, mental illness, and what it is to love like wildfire. When she's not writing poetry or science fiction, she's likely spending time with her wife and girlfriend or studying towards her degree in social work. If you want to see more of her perform elsewhere, find her at Behind the Mic of the Dirty Jarned Poetry Show in Worcester and at Slams with the Dirty Jarned Roadshow team. Her Pay What You Want poetry collection, Trans Girl War Songs, which is fucking fantastic, by the way. I got to read that earlier this year, is available on itch.io. Spellcasting, similarly, will be available there as well. Without further ado, Storey Campbell, everyone.
I think I know how to work these. Let's see. Does this go any higher by any chance? Yeah. There we go. That's a little better. Hi, everybody. I'm going to open up with a poem from my first chapbook, Trans Girl War Songs. Let me remind myself where it is in the chapbook. There we go. Bitter. Trans people don't die like cis people do. We spend much of our lives gripping something dead so we understand it. See, a dead name isn't called a dead name just because it's dead, but because some of us will never know which name they put on our tombstone. We feel with the dead that changes things. There are few things we do as well as mourn, those times where they chose to go. Grief tastes like, I understand why you had to leave, and I have felt the need to run too, and the smell of freshly mowed grass. Those times when it was the world that did the drowning, earthly hands wrapped around their transgender throat. Grief tastes bitter. It coats your mouth with bitter. It wraps around you, bitter. It cuts you deeper, bitter. Holds you tightly, bitter. Presses fingers against your wounds, bitter. We are handed candles at our own vigils, firelight shining through the wounds. We do not breathe for fear of ingesting more smoke. We do not wail for fear that a candlelight vigil may become a protest in the ears of news watchers tomorrow. Bitter. Grief, in the end, holds me gently. It presses its lips to my exposed neck. My chest rises and falls against its own. Grief lowers me to the autopsy table, unsure what it will find inside. Be gentle, I lie to it. It's my first time. Thank you so much, everybody. I do have some hard copies of both Trans Girl War Songs and Spellcasting a Grimoire, which released tonight. If you're interested. This poem is called How to Kill a Trans Woman and Get Away with It. First, you must split open her words and her ribs. You must sip from her insides and be reminded of how she tasted when you loved her. Next, you must slip a knife between her feathers and pull the blade through. Ignore the blood that stains you. You will wipe your hands of this soon enough. Then you must find the paths she walks to the people she calls home. You must raze them to the ground without mercy. Spread the cracks you left in her porcelain soul everywhere else she goes. You must be an earthquake, firestorm, death rattle, static. Remember her crimes against you and the world. Remember the repulsive shackle of man that she carries. Forget that you grafted her to it. Forget that she has stared creation in the eye and willed herself to escape it. Finally, you must snuff out the candle you shared with her. You must hide it away deep inside, sad and without fire. Let her keep the smoke. Thank you. This poem's a little bit more about me, so I figure I can give you a bit of an introduction. I was born in California, raised in central Massachusetts in Worcester, and now I live just outside of Boston with my wife and our lovely polycule. Everything we do is poetry. We breathe it, and it is such a lovely life to live. Thank you. So much of my work is about exploring identity, and I hope that we can come out of this knowing each other a little better. This is how to use my pronouns, which are she, it, by the way. She, like a captain, refers to her ship, not like a boat, but like a starship sailing through the skies, running her wings, her hands, her wings through ripples of solar. Her, like a bear defending her young, whipped by her very nature into fury, love and rage in equal measure, never seen as incompatible, never contradictory, equipped with claws and teeth, sharp and deadly for protecting small things, and yet still feminine. It, like the sun, life-giving, warm, itself breathing. It, like a black hole, never-ending, and though so very dark, surrounded on all sides by light. It, like hope, like light, like nebula. This is not dehumanization. It does not scorn me. Like the starship, I am free. I am boundless. Like the bear, I was born a weapon. It does not make me less. I am more than the two cards I was dealt. I will always be something greater. Thank you. At the end there, I mentioned I was born a weapon. This poem is about that. I'm a transgender woman. That means that I was assigned male at birth, but now identify as non-binary and female. I've been on estrogen for 7 years, I think, in March. But chemical transition isn't for everybody, so it's all valid in that way. This is called How to Be a Weapon. I know I am a weapon. I see it in the eyes of strangers, fear and fascination in equal measure. In awe of my grotesque nature, eyes wide, curious, morbid of what further damage I will do. I know I am a weapon, and I don't just mean in that I am trans. I was a weapon long before that, long enough that now I don't know how to be anything else. I know I am a weapon. I've never known what it is to be without trigger, without detonator and fuse, without claws, what it is to produce heat without fire, to make steam instead of smoke. I know I am a weapon. A weapon is not allowed to say no. It is not allowed to be angry. A weapon disarmed is still a weapon, is still a threat, is still easily dehumanized. A weapon must must give itself to its wielder every single time. I know I am a weapon. I know what it is to fall from a warplane and make a crater where I land. Do you think bombs know what is coming from them? Coming for them? A crawl from a crater, hot with explosion, hot with shockwave, hot with something that existed and then didn't, a weapon that digs its own graves. I know I am a weapon. I am a weapon that's dug far too many graves. Which shovelful of dirt turns a hole into a grave? Which have I crawled out of? Which have I been left in? I know I am a weapon. How should a gun avoid loosing a bullet? How should a bomb keep itself from exploding? Is that not what we weapons are meant to do? I know I am a weapon. I let go so much more than I hold close. I let go so much that I became someone else. I let go because it is easier to do than to hold on to myself. I have given away so much of myself already. To God, I gave one of my ribs. I know because I can feel deep the wound. What is it that he will make from me? Y'all mind if I take out the trash real quick? Can I get a good fuck ice?
Fuck ice!
Great, thank you.
No kings here.
No kings, absolutely. Yes, only poets. This poem was written on election night last year. I tried it at a slam and Rykov profoundly beat me, but it's still good for the mic, I think. So here we go. How to survive the winter. Every tree remembers its first autumn. The first time cold was able to burrow deep into its sorry excuse for a trunk. The first time that it held onto its leaves, numbered only in the dozens, so tightly, as though if only it kept them attached to its branches, it could guarantee its survival, as though it understood what was coming. There is no way to know the scars that cold will leave you, the places where your bark bubbles from the water freezing inside, the gnawing pain of another creature seeking warmth, desperate for shelter, the cold slowness of dying, unsure if you will survive until it is warm again. Every tree remembers its misfound hope in the face of oncoming winter. Spite to them, to us, like a fuel. Winter wishes them to fall, and so they will not fall. It is a warmth like charcoal in a furnace. They forget what charcoal was once. They run out of spite soon enough. I have felt this cold crawl up my spine and through my bark and seek shelter among my bones. I have thought I knew what was coming, like I was the deer, and it was the headlights. I was wrong. Every time I have been wrong. What do we do when we run out of spite? Is a tree before its winter the same tree that comes out the other side? Does a tree in the cold, biting wind, losing its leaves, feel the pain of every last one as it decays at its feet? I bear the scars of winter and leaf fall on every single ring, buried deep down to my core, to that sorry excuse for a trunk. You would never know it unless I was felled, unless the winter took me. I have wondered if I will survive the cold, and sometimes, even as I grew new leaves, been unsure if it was really me who survived. People tell us, we trees, that someday spring will come, as if the fact that our forest will be thinner than it has ever been is nothing, as though they were weak for not surviving. Spring may come. Yes, our forest will be green again, verdant and lifeful, but then another winter is less than a year away. How long is it until none of us are left? You may have noticed by this point that every poem from this book is a how-to poem, a step. Or you could think of them as spells to manifest what we need emotionally, physically, to bring to us the energy that we need from what we had. This poem is a sort of companion to the previous, How to Survive Everything Else. Show me on your soul where it hurts. Show me the nail marks, the bruises that the world has left upon you. I know the cause of those scars. You don't need to hide. I know the fear the world strikes in you, the way that it slices through your relationships. Excuse me. The way that it slices through your relationships as soon as they realize you are different, the way it feels when you think of love. I know why, when you do find a droplet of love unequivocally yours, you hold on to it with all that you are, despite all the burning it does of your skin, loving like after this, you'll never be able to love again. I know why, when you feel that heat, the heat of the sun, that 93 million mile away glow, that reached out over all of space just to caress your face, it feels like nothing anymore. I know the song your dysphoria sings, and I know what it whispers to you in the dark about your body, the way you look, move, grow, about what you should do to your skin. I know that when you try to make art, your first instinct is to hide it instead of share it with the world. Why you'd prefer to fade away unseen, vanishing, unremembered. I know why you ran away from your hometown. I know exactly who they tried to make you be. I know what it is to be home and not be home. I know what it is to not know what home is. I know why you feel like a monster. I know how they make you feel it. I know what it is to find home, or as close as we can get, in feathers, talons, claws, teeth. I know none of your birthdays feel real anymore. I know why they feel more like funerals. I know why they feel like a surprise every single year. Like you didn't expect to make it this far, but darling, you did. You made it. You're here and have come so far to be here. I know exactly how hard you are trying because I'm trying too. I see you, and I see you, and I see you, and I see you. I see you glowing and happy and smiling and laughing and full of the love that you have deserved ever since you started running. And sister or brother or sibling, I know what it is you're running from. It's not gonna be easy. It's never been easy, but it's gonna happen. It will get better. For the first time in such a long time, we, people like us, are gonna grow old. Finally. How we feeling, Lowell? You still good? Still, yeah? Having a good time? Great. All right. I'm happy to hear that. This poem is called How to Speak. It's about depression. I could probably do a better job on content warnings. It doesn't come to me naturally, and I do apologize. I will try and be better. But yeah, this is about depression and maybe mild suicidal ideation. Death says hello to me most mornings. Some days that is where it stops. Some days I know its bone clatter voice better than my own. A familiar lover wrapped in silk sheets, bony fingers tracing my scars. When death is close, I lose the ability to say I need help. I forget how to say I'm scared, like I'm unable to twist my vocal cords into any shape but a noose, like the wind that carries my words is suffocating. If I could make it, my breathing would brighten the darkest rooms. If I could, I'd exhale flocks of birds like dragon's fire. If I could, I'd breathe the air off their beating wings. If I could, I'd make my words healing. I'd make I'm here for you heal bone breaks. I'd make good morning bring back the dead. I'd make good night calm anxiety, and I'd make I love you fix depression. I wish that words were enough for me. I wish my words were enough for me. I wish my words were enough to heal. I wish my words were enough to heal me. I wish these words could make a difference. I am going to die someday. Not yet, not soon, but when I am gone, look for my feathers. Dip their ends in ink. Use them to write love letters. Thank you. 3 more poems, okay? Yeah, great. All right, perfect. This is how to find womanhood under fascism. It's a bit tongue-in-cheek. My womanhood is contingent upon shaving my face at least once every 3 days, or my own visage betrays me, chitin sprouting from my skin in a slow, corrupting metamorphosis. My womanhood is contingent upon steering my body through chemical warfare, tricking my cells to build me properly, to build me graceful, to build me soft. If only I could leave my body to itself and be seen as I am meant to be. My womanhood is contingent upon never having interest in any sport, for as soon as I am in competition, I become a man again. As if the battles I fought to make my body woman made me lesser, simultaneously too strong and too weak. My womanhood is contingent upon denying the parenthood that pulls me upon my strings. To say I want a child inspires distrust. To say that I have worked with children before transitioning results in suspicion, shackles made by those who mean me and your children harm. My womanhood is contingent upon distance. I must never assume that I know womanhood close. It is something I grasp in my hands fully, for my womb cannot know the joy of carrying a child, and most, like me, have no womb at all. My womanhood is contingent upon never showing romantic interest in anyone cis. I have made myself unacceptable to them, a strange in-between, uncanny valley given flesh, lacking, and yet a woman with too much. My womanhood is contingent upon the letter F on all of my documents, my safety hanging in the balance, slipping fingers, grasping, swinging rope, and even then, this has become unreliable. One half of my country now looks to undo those mistakes that have been fixed. My womanhood is contingent upon luck. If the light catches my jaw wrong, if my voice's pitch drops on the wrong words, if the aquiline curve of my nose plays traitor, if I just can't do it today, the privilege of my womanhood is taken from me, and I am undone. My womanhood is contingent upon faking my own death every day, allowing the want in me to suffer, the yearning to go unanswered, the endless everything within me to collapse into one. Thank you. Thank you. My second to last poem for you tonight is called Frequently Asked Questions, and it closes out the book, sort of, technically. You'll see. When does a man become a woman? It happens the first time she spreads her wings, admiring them in the mirror like she holds a crippling secret after a sleepless night, dreaming nightmare of what being this will mean for the rest of her life. When does a woman become a monster? It happens the first time that she rejects the song of her flesh. It happens the first time she speaks and forgets to hate the sound of her own voice. It happens when she stops being the fuel for the flame that burns inside her. When does a monster become a danger? As soon as she chugs upon her chains, as soon as she's ready to let it all out, to bare her teeth and sharpen her talons, no matter what consequences may come. When does a danger become a threat? When the chains finally break and she is out, released upon the world that has forsaken her, as soon as she is clawed off the muzzle, let the world hear her siren cry. When does the threat become a goddess? The moment she realizes that she has tasted creation, fought a war with her body and won, become a forest verdant and growth ready, when she decides to live happy, to live fully, to live whole, to live holy, when she decides to just live. I write about one happy poem per year, you might have noticed. And to close us out tonight, I'm going to read the one from, I think, last year. This is how to make the day of every trans woman you know. 1. Call her beautiful, call her pretty, call her gorgeous. She has spent so long believing these words were not for her. 2. When the world thought that I was a man, I could count the number of hugs that I had ever received on one hand. See, when you are a weapon, a man, a weapon, a man, touch is a dangerous thing. So with permission, touch her, hug her, and hold her, and hold her, and hold her. Run your fingertips along her skin. Show her you believe she is safe. Show her that kindness, softness, gentleness is what she deserves and what she is. 3. Invite her to your girls' night out. More likely than not, she's never had a mani-pedi. I haven't. Take her shopping with you. Whatever it is you do, include her, because she is just like you. 4. Gender her correctly every single time. Her. Change the way you think about her. Her. Use the right words even when she isn't there to hear you. They, them doesn't cut it. Use she, her if that's her preference. Ask her. It's okay to ask, and it matters more than you know. 5. Get her flowers. I will always remember the first time I was given flowers. There is no second guessing the nature of flowers. Trust her with these small, gentle things. Trust her to take care of them. Trust her to mother them. Mother. 6. Keep her safe. There are things in this world that hate her so passionately, so violently, that they will do whatever they can to slit, silence, fill her throat. Keep her safe. I've had to teach my friends how to protect their drinks, to give out fake phone numbers, to never, ever walk home alone. Keep her safe. I cannot teach everyone. 7. On that note, it took me over 3 years to learn how to properly use conditioner. No one ever thought to teach me, so teach her things. All the things that you learned growing up, because she's growing up too. 8. More likely than not, she's poor as fuck. Fill up her glass, or her Venmo, or her Cash App, or her PayPal, or her OnlyFans. Ask her which is best. She'll be happy to let you know. 9. Love us while you can, because there may come a day, and soon, when we are hidden or gone. Thank you, Lowell.
Let's give it up for Storey, Campbell! Yo, that was an incredible feature from the poet, y'all. Wow.
That's it.
That's amazing. We mentioned earlier you can't take Storey home unless she's about it. But definitely, if they have the capacity, chop it up with her. They got some books. Pay what you can. You can start with 200 or you can work way down, all right? But definitely support the artist. We're so happy that Storey made their way here, all the way to Lowell, Massachusetts. Y'all been here at the Untitled Open Mic, first and third Wednesday.
Yeah.
Lowell Poetry Wheel on Instagram, lowellpoetry.com. Thank y'all so much. Shout out to the team. Shout out for y'all for being here. Y'all been sweet.
Shout out to you, Ricky.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We're both cute. You know what
Stop
I'm
it.
saying? Word. Okay, cool. We're gonna clean up. We're gonna play some music. Check the library. Talk to feature. Talk to the poets. Thank y'all so much. Woo!